So it's a smart move from Labour, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of a no-lose situation here. They've said, oh, you must guarantee, you nasty Tories, you must guarantee these poor children can go home for Christmas. I mean, how can you guarantee anything? Can't even guarantee anything in 10 days' time. We have no idea what the hell might happen next.
No, I think it's easy for the opposition, not that the government's covered itself in glory, but I think it's easy for other parties to say you should do this, this, and this when they're not making the decisions. But what I'm saying from a public health perspective is you can manage the Christmas thing. It's a bit like quarantining people coming to the country. You know, we know how long they need to be away from people who might be at risk. So you can deal with it. You just have to plan for it and say, this is the plan for Christmas. And I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah,
sure we will.
Yeah, it's going to be a long winter.
I know.
It's unbelievable. Thank you so much, as ever, and it's great to speak with you. Linda Ball is Professor of Public Health at the University of Edinburgh. What's the situation with universities? I need to hear from somebody who's at a university. I need to hear from people who are trying to organise the response from universities to this situation. I mean, really? Private security locking people up? With no food, no essentials? What about the communication from the universities to the students? I mean, and what happens, for instance, I know that when you're, when you're new on campus, when you're a fresher, often one of the places that gets inundated is the tech helplines, because you're trying to, I don't know, get your different codes, and I don't know how it works, but you need the tech centre. You need somebody geeky to help you make things work so you can get your classes away. Now, what about all that sort of stuff? What about the practicalities? And frankly, should there be a discount because they're not getting what they paid for? I would have thought so. Let me know what you think. 03456060973. We'll take a look at how the paper's responding to that and all the front page stories in just a moment. And we're off to America. Who is Amy Coney Barrett?
I never imagined that I would find myself in this position, but now that I am, I assure you that I will meet the challenge with both humility and courage.
She's brilliant in a lot of ways. I read all about her yesterday. Do you know she's got 7 children, including 2 from Haiti, 1 child with Down syndrome, and she is the eldest of 7 children herself. So there, here's Thomas Watson.
Labour says university students must be allowed to return home to see their families at Christmas. New coronavirus lockdown measures will be imposed in Wales' 2 biggest cities this evening. And Donald Trump has nominated Conservative Judge Amy Coney Barrett to fill the vacant seat on the US Supreme Court. Dry for most with some good sunshine today, a few showers in the east, a high of 14 Celsius.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. The M11 is closed southbound between junctions 8 and 7 at Harlow, and that's because of an accident. The investigation works are still taking place. The M4 is closed in both directions between junctions 8-9 at Maidenhead and 7 at Slough West, and that's for the weekend roadworks. It's expected to stay closed until the early hours of tomorrow morning. One lane is closed on the M25 anti-clockwise between junctions 28 at the A12 and 27 at the M11, and that's because of an ongoing investigation.
Swarbrick on Sunday, coming up at 10, live from Westminster, LBC.
Hear that? That's the sound of Mia zooming down the bus lane in a Free Now black cab. And that's her breezing to the station in one of thousands of Free Now private hire vehicles in London. Black cab, private hire vehicle. Black cab, private hire. Black cab, private hire. See, with black cabs and private hire vehicles together on ride-hailing app Free Now, you're in control to get there faster. So however you roll, download Free Now and get 50% off your first ride with code TAXI. Terms and conditions apply. Swale Heating. We don't cut corners. We take the time to do things properly, to find you the perfect boiler. From top manufacturers like Worcester Bosch. Then our expert engineers will install it perfectly. Swaleheating.com. Rely on us to keep you warm.
Thanks to new government guidance and the hard work put in by everyone in our team, we're able to safely reopen TDC dental implant centres and get back to what we do best, restoring confidence and beautiful smiles. So, if you've been suffering with loose or painful teeth or have trouble with dentures, take the first step and find out how you can benefit from our award-winning Smile in a Day dental implant treatment. Book your no-obligation consultation at smileinaday.co.uk.
If you're driving in central London this weekend, please remember that the congestion charge now operates 7 days a week, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
it's increased to £15 per day. This will help reduce congestion and keep our bus services reliable. NHS Trust and care home workers can claim reimbursement. For more information, search TfL Driving. To the Mayor of London and TfL, every journey matters.
Sweaty palms, shaky hands. Are you heading for a hypo? You should stop and check your glucose, but it will take time and now is not a good time. Relax. Scan with the Freestyle Libre system, the smarter way to check your glucose with your phone. You can do it anytime, anywhere. No routine finger pricks, less hassle. Go to scantotest.co.uk to trial it with our money-back guarantee. Always read the user manual for important product aspects and limitations. Talk to your doctor for diabetes management. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Rosewood Castle on LBC.
Your Scottish Edinburgh guest, that's Professor Linda Bond, keeps blaming the government. This is her indirect way to blame local government. Well, she never once mentioned that university education is dissolved the Scottish administration. Either way, you've got students locked up at this point. In effect, starting their adult lives. I mean, in the most extraordinary way. I mean, what is the best way to respond to this situation? I mean, if private security is turning up and locking doors and they didn't know they were coming, I mean, even if they did know they were coming, you can't do that. That erosion of liberty is totally, unacceptable. Most people who are 60, 70, 80 years of age who make up, I mean, almost 100% of the people who are injured long-term, long COVID, or die from COVID, just do not want this for their daughters, for their grandchildren. They don't want it for their sons and daughters. They will not have this in too much more. This is why it's going to be a long winter. You think I'm being miserable this morning? I think it's unacceptable. 34568609773. Locking people up, not letting them leave uni. Are you kidding me? Where are we living? What's the response have we got here? I'll take your calls on that. We've got a few more texts on this. Niall says, how this is false imprisonment. Surely, well, it does appear from that testimony that we heard earlier and that clip from the parent, it does appear that way. Perhaps we're overreacting, I don't know. Just trying to report what we're hearing. 22 minutes past 7, go through the papers just a second. Should we go to America first? President Trump has nominated Conservative Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the US Supreme Court. It follows the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg last week.
I love the United States, and I love the United States Constitution. The President has nominated me to serve on the United States Supreme Court, and that institution belongs to all of us. If confirmed, I would not assume that role for the sake of those in my own circle, and certainly not for my own sake. I would assume this role to serve you. I would discharge the judicial oath, which requires me to administer justice without respect to persons, do equal right to the poor and rich, and faithfully and impartially discharge my duties under the United States Constitution.
And having read through CV yesterday, I'm finding myself getting deeper and deeper into these things. I mean, she is a pretty amazing woman when it comes to her achievements legally and her experience, although I believe she was only a judge for 3 years. What an absolutely first-class mind and intellect she seems to have. Of course, she's on the right, so that might get completely dismissed by the Democrats as everything seems to turn political. But she's a remarkable woman. She has 7 children herself. Their youngest, I believe, has Down syndrome. They adopted 2 from Haiti, and she herself is the oldest of 7. She is from a Catholic background. Jerry Edmonds, editor of KNX News Radio in Los Angeles. Hello, Jerry.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Amy Coney Barrett is, I don't know, why is this so controversial at the moment? She seems eminently qualified for the job.
Well, she does have a lot of respect, both on the right and the left. But the Democrats are still smarting over the fact that 4 years ago, the Republicans denied a chance for their nominee to be confirmed, or for President Obama's process. It's supposed to begin around the early to mid-October, and President Trump wants to have it all wrapped up by the election on November 3rd. So we're talking about maybe a week, 2 weeks, possibly for the Judiciary Committee hearing, and then, of course, a vote in the Senate.
Jerry, underlying this argument with the election ahead, Mr. Trump was quite controversial in some of his comments about passing power over to the winner of the winner of the election. There was some controversy about whether or not he would accept the
support, and I do hope the university provides somebody who just goes around once a day and checks everybody's okay. It doesn't take much, does it?
Have you had any children at university before, Paul?
No, this is my first.
Well, let me tell you, unless somebody corrects me, the provision of mental health services for those who are suffering is poor.
Okay, that's not the most reassuring.
Well, I'm sorry to say that's the experience of people very close to us. Very poor, especially for those who don't easily access and sort of go and thrust themselves in front of the right people and demand things. And let's be honest, when you're on the back foot mentally, it's not easy to be that way.
It isn't easy.
No.
I totally agree. And these children haven't cut themselves in glory in certain things, and I think we'll all say that. But they are adults. I don't know, treated like adults. I know they're on that transition 18, 20, 25-year point. And I think a really strict warning would have been so much better.
Or not allowing them to go back in the first place. But,
you're absolutely right, but then you have to ask yourself, why would they get let back?
Well, Paul, thank you very much indeed. The very best of luck to your child at university and locked down. Rooms of 8 to 10, can't leave the area, worried about exercise and worried about access to mental health services. Damn right. That's from 6060973. From 6 o'clock tonight, half of Wales's population will be in some form of lockdown.
Wales's biggest cities are heading into local lockdown to stop a rise in coronavirus cases. I'm LBC's Peter Gillibrand in Cardiff.
Happy news today, isn't it? Thomas Watts with the news.
Labour is calling on the Education Secretary to promise that university students will be able to return home at Christmas. It follows suggestions many will have to stay in halls at the end of term to protect older relatives. Lockdown measures will be imposed in Cardiff and Swansea this evening. It'll bring the total number of people in Wales under local measures to more than 1.5 million. Donald Trump has chosen his nominee for the vacant seat on the US Supreme Court. Judge Amy Coney Barrett is a favourite of religious conservatives. And the weather dry for most with some good sunshine today. A few showers in eastern parts of the UK. A high of 14 Celsius.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast. LBC. Borrowing now is north of £2 trillion, having risen by an extra all but 250 billion than this time last year. Chief Secretary to the Treasury Stephen Barclay. Which taxes are going up and when? Chancellor will set these issues, and the pension and Treasury ministers don't speculate on taxes. When might we have our next budget, do you imagine? The budget will be this fiscal year. The key issue is we need to get the economy growing, and the best way of doing that was to retain that link between people and their businesses. Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Weekday mornings from 7. LBC.
This is the sound of a revolution taking place in Jim's house. In a dusty cupboard under the stairs, Jim's smart meter is silently working away, helping him make small changes to how he uses energy, while helping Britain use more solar and wind power and less coal. So even when he's only doing the housework, he can always do his bit for the environment too. Join the quiet revolution. Ask your energy supplier for a smart meter. Eligibility may vary.
Business right now is anything but usual. At Square, we can help you sell in more ways, with a free online store and tools to sell on social media. You can take contactless payments in person and send invoices online. Wherever you sell, you'll get your money the next business day, with no long-term commitments, so you're ready for whatever's next. See everything we can do at square.com/UK. Square Up Europe Limited is regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Now more than ever, the world needs people with purpose. People who step up. People on the front line. People like the team at Feeding Gainsborough, preventing food from wasting and delivering it to those in need. At the Cooperative Bank, we've never stood on the sidelines either. As the original ethical bank, we're supporting 55 of our customers' local projects just like this with our customer donation fund. The Cooperative Bank and Feeding Gainsborough. Together, we are people with purpose.
The past few months have been hard on everyone, including our kids. But there are lots of things we can do to support them. Every Mind Matters will help you find what's right for your kids. Whether it's listening to them talk about the challenges they're facing or helping them develop skills to cope with their emotions. Supporting your children's mental well-being can help them boost their mood, feel good about themselves, and be more ready for life's challenges. Our NHS-approved
talking about the university experience for many. Manchester Met University, many people have been locked up, seemingly against their will. Private security turned up and wouldn't let them out. No food or essentials possible at the moment. Now, of course, this can't last, but you say it can't last. It's present at the moment. There are dorms of 8 to 10. You know, you can't leave the area. Parents are extremely concerned. Some people going away for the first time are going to find this extremely frightening. It's certainly going to build a bit of resilience, that's for sure. Other people are saying, well, I think this is a little overprotective of students. When I went to a polytechnic, I didn't hear from my parents for many months and was expected to grow up and get on with it. Well, yes, I cried myself to sleep in America at the age of 17 before email and all that sort of stuff, and it was a letter every 3 weeks. Look, I get that, but this is kind of weird. You know, we've got a situation where, whether you like it or not, and whether you agree with it or not, our liberties are removed by diktat. We're talking to Harriet Harman later on about the possibility of Parliament actually having a say before things are just rushed through the Coronavirus Act. But, you know, there is a huge erosion of what we've all taken for granted in the past, and we're all just saying, well, fine, because of COVID, fine, because of COVID, because of COVID. COVID doesn't even affect these kids. This is the point. It doesn't affect most people at all right? COVID-19 doesn't affect the vast majority of people. Do we want to get it? No.